Governor Wes Moore for years has been saying that public safety is his top priority. So how does he feel about the leadership of Baltimore City Public Schools being protected by armed police while students are not?
As Project Baltimore's Chris Papst explains, during the upcoming legislative session, one state senator says he'll introduce a bill to arm city schools police at all times, saying the law needs to change.
Senator J.B. Jennings, for the record, for Senate Bill 884.
Maryland State Senator J.B. Jennings has represented Baltimore and Harford Counties in Annapolis for the past 14 years.
What this bill does is it says that if they're a police officer patrolling a school, that they can have their weapon.
Most every year for the past 8 years, Jennings has introduced legislation in Annapolis that would require Baltimore City Schools police officers to carry their firearms at all times. Under current law, City Schools Police is the state's only police force that must disarm themselves while inside their assigned school. But as Fox 45 News recently reported, while students are not protected by armed police in school, the CEO is.
I was shocked when I saw it.
Project Baltimore was there on the first day of school as City Schools CEO Dr. Sonia Santelises traveled around the city, visiting different schools. Traveling with the CEO were armed City Schools police officers. These officers were allowed to be armed because they were not assigned to the schools the CEO visited. When the CEO left the school, the armed security left with her.
I see it as a double standard.
Jennings says he has seen what can happen inside of a school.
A mass casualty unit from one of the counties.
In March 2018, a gunman opened fire inside Great Mills High School in St. Mary's County in southern Maryland. According to Sheriff Timothy Cameron, the school's resource officer responded quickly.
Our school resource officer, who was stationed inside the school, was alerted to the event and the shots being fired. He pursued the shooter, engaged the shooter.
As of right now, have one CPR in progress.
One student and the gunman died. Another student was injured in a shooting that could have been much worse.
It's time to change this law. Enough's enough. Stop making excuses.
That is why Jennings says he continues to introduce the same legislation for City Schools police to remain armed during school hours.
If we're sitting in a committee room giving that testimony, there's a trooper sitting in the back of the committee room protecting us who's carrying a firearm. It's just hypocritical that we're sitting here being protected and our children aren't.
Do you think City Schools police should be armed inside of a school like they are when the CEO's there?
At a press conference on Tuesday, Project Baltimore asked Governor Wes Moore for his thoughts.
Well, I think MSDE, along with our local jurisdictions, have got to be the ones to make the decision.
Arming City Schools police officers full-time would require a change in state law that would come from Annapolis.
But I think that people have to understand that public safety has got to be the top priority, because if kids are not safe, then kids are not learning.
When you go into a school, do you have armed security with you?
Well, everywhere we go inside the state, we have to, we have what is constitutionally authorized. But that has, when I'm thinking about the public safety for all of our students and the public safety for all of our individuals, people feeling safe in their neighborhoods and their communities is our top priority. And I think we have to make sure that we're exercising all options to be able to ensure that that's the case.
You can decide for yourself if the governor answered our questions, but keep in mind, Baltimore City Schools has a depleted police force. In 2017, according to the Fraternal Order of Police, 142 sworn officers worked for City Schools Police. That number is now 76 sworn officers to protect about 160 schools, and 2 of those officers were protecting the CEO on the first day of class. I'm Chris Papst, and this is Project Baltimore. I'm Chris Papst. Thanks for watching. Here's another story to watch. Also, if you have a story idea, please send us a message.